What's up, softball players? I'm Coach Dan Blewett. In today's video, we're going to talk about how the arm action and the stride and the arm circle, how they can all sort of interact and change depending on how much time you have, whether you're going to shuffle, whether you're going to get rid of the ball as soon as you field it as an infielder. It's actually a really interesting conversation about timing and how the arm changes. So we're going to address all that today as I talk over some slow motion video in this video about softball throwing mechanics. Okay, so if you're new here, I'm Coach Dan Blewett, and this video is actually one of many from my update to my softball throwing courses. So if you're here learning more about throwing and you want to take a step into the next level, consider my courses because they're getting a big revamp, and this video is one of many examples from the course that's going to show you how to throw. So let's go here. So here I am, and basically what I did was this was working on funnel throws. So a funnel throw is when you scoop up a ground ball in the center of your body and you're moving through it. So as I demonstrate this type of throw, I'm just working on left foot, right foot, getting the ball to my middle, being quick and shuffling through it. But what you'll see right now is that I'm taking a couple shuffles and I'm throwing over the top. This is what would happen obviously as an infielder if you got a hot shot hit right at you and you had plenty of time. You'd vacuum it up, you'd move your feet, you'd take a couple shuffles, and then you'd, boom, mail it, right? Now, if you look at my previous throw and this one right here, you're going to see me go way faster, where it's going to be all in pretty much one smooth motion. I'm going to throw the ball sidearm. And so what we're going to see in a second is that this, in slow motion, changes the timing of my arm action and my arm circle, all that sort of stuff very significantly. So here's what I want you to pay attention to as we go into the slow motion segment of this type of throw. So as I bring my hands to my center, my feet are moving, so my right goes towards my left, then my left is going to move out towards my target. And so the big thing here is we're looking at the timing of the back foot right there, my hands when they separate, and then what my arm does when I go through. So if you don't know that much about me, I was a former pro pitcher. So I naturally have a longer arm action. I was not a catcher. I was not a shortstop. So it's not comfortable for me to naturally just go right to my ear. That wasn't how I threw. I naturally threw with a longer, more full, if you'd call it that, arm circle, because pitchers have time to do that. Sort of a different conversation. But what you're going to see here now, and this is the really important takeaway if you're trying to learn more about softball throwing mechanics, is how the arm action interacts with the amount of time that you have. So right here, I'm about to take a couple shuffles before I throw. So what you're going to see is that I just landed. My hands are still together. Now they're going to separate, but I want you to pay attention to my left foot right here. This one is going to have a certain amount of time before it hits right there. So when my foot strides out and then hits down, my arm is now in this position here, which I'm at about a 90-degree angle, and the ball is facing mostly down, like a little bit towards center field, which is not ideal, but no one's perfect. So I'm out here in this position in general. And why this is important is because the timing of the stride and the arm action getting to that point where your ball faces down and your arm is just above parallel, that's sort of like the go part in your delivery. So when you hit here, this is saying I'm in a good position ready to throw. Now my hips can rotate and I can accelerate using my lower body through my upper body into my arm. So this portion where my stride foot, in this case my left foot, has just touched down, I want my arm to be just above parallel with the ground, okay? So make a mental image of this. Now, in subsequent throws, when I'm now starting to go faster, so again, you can see here I'm taking a couple shuffles, my arm action is longer, right? You can see that I can have some loop in it because the only thing that really matters timing-wise is that my arm is slightly above parallel when my stride foot hits the ground here. So I'm right there. I stopped that a little bit late, and now I'm right above parallel. Let me get this exact frame right about there. So I'm just touching down, my ball's above parallel. So now on the next throw, which is sidearm, let's see how this is changing, but it's still pretty much the same. So because I'm going to throw this right away, I'm transferring the ball out of my glove as soon as my feet are moving because I'm trying to get rid of this as quick as I can. So now my foot's down, I'm pulling the ball back, I'm hunched over a little bit because I'm about to throw sidearm. But look at here's the big key difference. my foot just touches down and the ball is essentially in the same position. I'm just above parallel. It just looks a little bit different because I'm about to throw it side. I'm hunched over a little bit. So now, as I start to accelerate, you'll see another key difference. My elbow is a little bit less than 90 degrees here, where it was pretty much like directly 90 degrees. Now it's maybe like 75 degrees. So you have a tighter joint angle when you throw sidearm. And then I'm going to sort of rotate the hips like I normally would, and I'm going to uncork that throw. So let's watch this next one. It's the same type of throw. It's that same sidearm throw. My hands are together a little longer on this one. So my hands are just releasing when my foot hits. And now I'm going to stride out. This stride is much shorter because it's quicker, right? I don't have as much time. I'm trying to get rid of the ball faster. So because my lower half touches down quicker, this ball has got to be the top faster. And so there it is. It goes right to the top, and then I throw. So one of the big takeaways here is that if I were to shuffle, we can go back to regular speed here. I'll let this play. If I was going to take some shuffles, I don't need to be lightning fast to my ear because I have the time of the shuffle to be ready. I can have a little more length in my arm action because I have to just be here when the foot hits. So if I have more time in the air, meaning my stride is going to be a little bit longer and it's going to be in the air a little longer because I'm shuffling, then I can have a little more length to my arm action as long as I'm, boom, at the right position when it's go time. When it's just bang, bang, and I'm getting rid of it, I don't have that extra time, so my arm needs to draw straight back up, a la an infielder or catcher. Obviously, again, if you're a catcher, you're always going right to the top because you're trying to get rid of as fast as you can, and your stride foot is going to be on the ground pretty much as soon as it can be, right? Same with an infielder when they're getting rid of the throw fast. But with outfielders, they have a little more length in their stride because they're running so fast, and so they have to like lengthen out. And same thing if you're shuffling as an infielder. You have some time, your stride lengthens, your stride a little more, is in the air longer, so then your arm action can expand. It's almost like a gas. Your arm action is like a gas. It expands to fill the container, which is the time duration that it has available to it. So this is the problem in softball throwing mechanics that most coaches are still teaching wrong, is they say, you need to get to the top as soon as possible. It serves you no good if you're at the top and your stride foot is still in the air because it's not go time yet. It's go time when your stride foot has touched down, like you see here in this video. That's when you have to be in these key positions, which in this case is 90 degrees or less at your elbow angle, and the ball is like somewhere kind of slightly above perpendicular with the ground or parallel to the ground. So that's the really important thing to know, that the timing is going to change. The last thing that I would say to note is that if you're a player that plays outfield and infield, you're going to have this difference. Your arm is naturally going to lengthen out when you're playing in the outfield because your stride is going to be longer. You're going to be in the air longer with your stride. And when you go to the infield, it's going to be a little less natural. You're going to be like me, essentially, when you shuffle. You're not going to just go right to your ear like an infielder might still. So this timing stuff, you're going to be in flux, kind of, where, again, your body will figure it out. In this video, what's important to note is that I did not consciously do any of this. I just said, all right, I'm going to throw 2 over the top, and I'm going to shuffle. Then I'm going to throw 2 sidearm, and I'm not going to shuffle. I'm just going to throw it right away. So I didn't try to change my arm action. I didn't do anything consciously. I just threw the ball the way I wanted to throw it. So when I shuffled, my arm naturally said, okay, Dan, we're just going to lengthen a little bit. And when I was going to throw it sidearm, they said, okay, Dan, we're going to pull right to the top and get rid of it. I didn't try to do that. I wasn't demonstrating anything in that. I was just like, over the top, 2 shuffles, sidearm, no shuffles. And so because I've been a good thrower my whole life, my body just said, hey, this is the way we're going to do it. We know where we need to be when we need to be there. All right, well, that's going to do it. I'm Coach Dan Blewett. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, share this with a friend. Check out the links in the description below for more info on my online courses, which, again, this video was an example from it. And, you know, keep learning. I've got a lot of videos on my channel. I've got lots of strength training stuff, mindset stuff, throwing videos, all of it. So if you're looking to get better, you're in the right place. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.